My name is Timothy King, and this is my personality presentation. First up is fear. Um, my fear is one of my biggest fear is wasting potential, or feeling like I'm wasting potential. That means like avoiding avoiding greatness that I'm known to that I can approach, or avoiding struggles because they're hard, but knowing that these struggles will help me in the future. You know what I mean? These are the types of I don't want to I don't want to waste time. I want to go get what I need to get done as soon as possible. I'm one of those people. I don't like to just sit and wait until things happen. I want to go get it. Another fear I have is change. This is a common fear that most people have in the world, my family included. And I noticed just over this year and last year that change, it impacts everyone differently. And for me, I feel like I've welcomed. I'm still learning to welcome change into my life because change is a part of life. We all need to embrace. A big change for me was the fall of 2020. They got a loss in the family, and the sudden change of that person not being there for me really hurt, and I lost myself in that. But now I've grown to embrace the change in my life, and knowing that what that person lived for, wasn't for nothing. That I would change my life for the better because of that person. Another one of my fears is my own stubbornness. I know I can be a stubborn person time to time, but again, I'm starting to learn, and I'm willing to learn to get out of that. Stubbornness won't lead to anything good in life. I know that. I have a I have a very stubborn family, but we all can be stubborn. But learning that we're stubborn and getting out away from that is where I want to be. Another fear I have is expressing my emotions completely. I am not the best at expressing my emotions. Growing up, I never really did it consistently, so I never adjusted to doing it. And again, bring back to that loss before. When that happened, I really shut everything out, and I didn't. At the outside, I looked great, but inside, I was hurting bad. I didn't know how to express my emotions completely and appropriately. My next fear is laziness. I'm not a lazy person, but when I do become lazy, it is hard for me not to stay in that lazy mode, if that makes sense. Even when it comes to the easy stuff, if I'm in that lazy mode, it's hard to break out of it, and that's very bad. And I want to learn to eliminate that completely, because I know eventually that's going to lead me to lose opportunities, and I don't want that to happen. That's what I fear. Letting down family members is a huge thing for me. I wish never to do that. Like, as such as if it revolves around me and my personal life, I don't want my personal life to be to be the thing that lets down my family in any way. So I try to help them do anything to avoid that. Meeting new people is not necessarily a fear. I just don't like doing it a lot, because in the past I've met people that ended up stabbing me in the back, and that really didn't help doesn't help really didn't help me approaching people after that. Um, I still met new people, but it was just I didn't overly express myself, if that makes sense. Motivations. One of my biggest motivations is my family. My family has helped me through a lot of things, and through that loss, my family has grown together more. We've all grown more together. We've all helped each other through thick and thin, through from it being the the big freeze in February to losing that family member that I expressed earlier. We've all worked together. We all helped each other to get through this. Well, another motivation I have is learning from my mistakes. I'm always happy to do better, but when I fail, I know that that's not the end all be all. When I fail, I know that when I fail, there's mistakes that can be improved, and that's what I love doing. I love improving on my mistakes so I can eventually become a better person during either video games or working out, exercising, or anything in life, to be honest. Anything. I'm always willing to learn. Growing up, I always loved to help people. It always made me feel good inside. So that helping people really motivates me to be a better person in myself. So when I feel down or when I need a little uplifting, I can just think about, hey, what did I tell so and so, or what did I tell so and so this or that, and that really helps. That really motivates me to be out of that, to get out of that funk and be a better person. I love competition. Competition drives me. Competition drives me. May it be in video games or working out or wrestling or anything. I love when somebody's able to keep up with me so I can improve myself and we just have basically a giant chess match back and forth. I love that, to see who's the better person. I love that. That motivates me to be a better student, better athlete, and better spiritually, really. Financial struggles, it motivates me because it shows me how money can easily evaporate from everyone. How money and material things could, in a blink of an eye, be gone. So I know what it is. I know what it feels like to not have food in the house. I know what it feels like to lose lights. I know what it feels like to lose gas. So that motivates me to go out and work. That motivates me to do better in school. So when I am older and get my career, I don't have to face the same financial struggles that I grew up in. Video games are a huge part of me. I love video games ever since I was 12, I would say, when my uncles introduced me. We'll start with Street Fighter 3 Third Strike on the top left. This is my favorite fighting game, but not my first fighting game, but my favorite one. It came out in 1999. No, yes, 1999, and it is best regarded as the best Street Fighter game just because of, well, the parry mechanic. It allows you to parry incoming attacks from your enemy or your opponent, and you retain 1 frame or a couple frames of frame advantage, or 1/10 of a second advantage over your opponent. It allows you to do whatever you want to do after that. My friends and I will go, at 4 friends growing up, we will go off playing this game all day and all night, parrying each other's attacks, hitting each other's with supers. It's always amazing. It's always amazing hopping back into that game. Right below it, we have Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, this was my first fighting game I was introduced, well, first 2D fighting game I was introduced to. And growing up as a kid, I love Dragon Ball. So I was like, Dragon Ball in a fighting game? I always wanted to join a fighting game, so I was like, shoot, why not? And I bought the game. My friends bought the game after that. We kept playing. We all got better at it. And it showed me what it feels like to lose in a fighting game, and how to look at my replays and my matches, and that looking at my mistakes, it allowed me to look at my mistakes and get better. That's what this game did. This game allowed me to look at my mistakes, capitalize on my mistakes, get better, and then on the next match ended up and know how it feels to win after fixing my mistakes. In the middle, we have my first fighting game I was introduced to, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has any video game character you can really think of, from Bayonetta to Link and Zelda to Mario and Peach to Banjo and Kazooie, Donkey Kong and Bowser. Like, this game's roster is ridiculous, with I believe 85 characters as of the making of this presentation, and they all battle each other, and seeing all their moves from their games and how they interact with each other. This game right here, showed it made me feel good playing it because it felt like a celebration. I love games that feel like a celebration, like the Marvel vs. Capcoms, the Dragon Ball Fighters, the Street Fighters. These games feel like a celebration, so it gives me in a great mood to play it. Bottom left, we have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game. Now, a little brief history. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is my favorite movie of all time. So when I heard that they were releasing a game and it was going to be a 2D scroller beat 'em up, I was like, yeah, I'm going to hop on this game. Uh, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, it's about Scott and how he deals with his mental struggles and fighting relationships, and how he uses relationships to cope with his mental struggles, and how he doesn't really view himself as being love worthy. As he gets into these relationships, he avoids confrontation instead of facing confrontation head on. And at the end of the movie and the game, he embraces his own struggles and figures out within himself that he doesn't need to go out and find love. He needs to find love within himself. That's the reason why I love the movie and the game, so that's why it's up here. Batman Arkham Knight is my favorite Batman game, first off. It is the pinnacle of being the Dark Knight. This game allows you, from the Batmobile scenes to the fighting combat to the gliding across Gotham. This game truly shows you how it feels to be the Batman. How the criminals are scared of you, scared to do anything. How the villains, sorry, how you have to use your detective work to find the villains to capture them and bring them back to the GCPD or the Gotham Police Department. This game here is the best. Growing up, I always loved animals. There's something about them, like their attributes, like such as how wolves can be a part of a pack and have alphas and betas, and they all, without even talking to each other, they all know what to do in the pack and how to hunt effectively, how to watch out for danger, or how sharks, how they smell blood in the water. They can smell blood in the water from a mile away, or how they have to keep going forward to stay alive or else they drown. These are very interesting facts. So, and such as a jaguar having the second most powerful bite force in the animal kingdom. How these animals can lift up gators and crocodiles from the water by their necks and walk and crawl them up trees. How powerful these animals are and how fast and intelligent they are, such as the barn owl. These creatures, when they fly, they don't make a single noise, and they're actually one of the worst. One of their enemies in the wild is eagles, which in the daylight, eagles they can take the fight to the owls, but at night, no one can hear you or see you. The owls easily take that fight against eagles. As you can see, there's two shows here: River Monsters and Wild Kratts. Growing up, I watched both of these. One was on Animal Planet, and that's when my family had cable. We'll watch Animal Planet. I'll watch Animal Planet, and from dusk till dawn, every show on Animal Planet, I would just watch it just to see the animals and what they would do and what they do in the wild. But when we didn't have cable and I didn't have Animal Planet, there was PBS Kids. And on PBS Kids, there was a show called Wild Kratts. And these guys would basically do what I just said. They would go in the wild, they'll show you an animal, show you what it can do, and it'll show you if it's endangered or not, and the special ability these animals can have in the wild. And they would turn into these animals and to fight villains. And that was very interesting for me. I loved it. Still do. Aesthetics is a huge part of my of of me, along with video games. Along with video games, calisthenics has to be second up there. Working out in general, really. I love taking care of my body, whether it's eating right, sleeping, and working out. I love taking care of my body. I love looking in the mirror and seeing how my body improves. That's what gets me. Top left, we have Athlete X. He basically showed me everything I know about exercise, well, calisthenic exercising. I knew a little bit going in before I knew him, but after, it was a brand new world. It felt like on the right side, top right, is Chris Hera. He basically improved on what Athlete X taught me. Like he not improved, but he went into depth of what Athlete X taught me how to do at home workouts and stuff like that. Um, Bottom right is wrestling. Wrestling in high school really opened my world to how to take care of your body. Before wrestling, I didn't know lickety split how to take care of my body. I didn't know what to do. But when I was younger, I always liked the professional wrestler aesthetic. I always liked the big arms, big shoulders, big chest, abs, giant, good quads. You know what I mean? Big calves. But I never knew how to get it, and wrestling kind of steered me the right way. It didn't teach me everything, but it steered me the right way in order for me to look at the Athlete X's or the Chris Heras of the world and improve on what they taught me. In wrestling, I would say there was one summer in 2016. The summer of 2016 is where I actually sat down and looked up everything I could to improve my body. Because before that, I was 240. I had risking high blood pressure. I was almost diabetic. It was insane. And wrestling helped me lose the weight, gain confidence in myself, and I wouldn't be the same without it, really. My hopes and dreams. My first dream, is to become financially free. Again, growing up, my family struggled a lot. We still do. and I always envision myself in the future that I will not be in the same predicament that I see my family in. How somehow or some way I'm going to improve and be the best me that I can be in order for me to be financially free, in order for me never to worry about bills, the water bill being due, never to worry about the lights being on, never to worry about, the gas bill or any things in that nature. To be able to just say, hey, you know what? I'm getting paid. I got it. We don't have to worry about the bills. I got it. We don't have to worry about we don't have to worry about the car notes and stuff like that. I got it. That's my top dream. That's what I want to happen, and that's what I'm gonna shoot for to happen. That's exactly what I'm gonna shoot for. My next my next hope and dream is to become a successful YouTuber. Um, the reason I chose this is because I love playing video games. I really do. And I was thinking to myself, because I spend hundreds of thousands of hours on my PlayStation and my Nintendo and my Xbox, and I was thinking to myself, if I like video games so much, I might as well get paid doing it. And my friends consider me as pretty entertaining, I would say. So that's what I decided to do after I get my degree and all. The next focus is going to become a successful YouTuber and streamer, and see how far that goes, along with psychology, of course. My next hope and dream is to become a successful voice actor. I love voice actors, whether it being Steve Bloom, or he's actually my favorite. Actually, Steve Bloom is actually my favorite. I love when he plays Wolverine. That's my favorite role, and how he played Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 11. That was so dope to me. It's always so dope to me, the voice actors behind the cartoon characters, such as like Tara Strong voicing Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner. Like that, her voice. She has a huge vocal range between hundreds of characters in media that no one really knows about, which is surprising to me. It's crazy. I love voicing the characters. I really do. I want to eventually get into a predicament where I could sit down and go to a voice acting school or attend voice acting academies online or stuff like that to eventually have my voice in a TV show, anime, a movie, a video game, or anything like that, or a book or something. But that's my dreams. Those are my dreams.